What's up, guys? It's another Devo day, and today for our devotion, I want to talk about knowing the story. Knowing the story of Scripture. I am incredibly passionate about you guys knowing the narrative of Scriptures. We are so frequently taking passages, sections, books, chapters, and reading them as standalone things. It would be like if I took the book Humpty Dumpty. I took the book Humpty Dumpty and I opened up to the middle of the book and it says Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. I don't even know if Humpty Dumpty might not be an actual book, but you get the point, right? If I just read Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, I would then walk away with, okay, I probably shouldn't climb on walls because Humpty Dumpty fell on walls. Or I would read it like it was a historical fact. Like, oh yeah, there was once this egg a long time ago that fell off this wall. My point being, we take these passages out of the context of the totality of Scripture, and when we better understand the story as a whole, we better understand the messages that God was trying to communicate to us through the narrative of Scripture. So I want to encourage you guys, know the story. Know the story, not stories, not just the stories, but how that works together in the scope of leading us towards Christ, leading us towards understanding who God is, what He has for us, how much He loves us, right? When we read passages and we just go, okay, I'm going to read this one thing, or I'm going to read this one section, or I'm going to, even just reading whatever. Like even the epistles, right? The epistles are letters. Right now in student ministry, we're going through the epistle of Ephesians, right? The letter that Paul wrote. If you got a letter in the mail, you would read the whole letter, right? You wouldn't read a portion of the letter, sit back and go, you know what? I feel like that was good for today. I'm going to call it quits. Or whatever else. Guys, I can't emphasize this enough. How does Genesis to Revelation, all of those passages, books, stories, historical context, poetry, work together in the greater narrative of God's story? Know the story. And so we're going to be talking about that throughout the course of this year, but I want to challenge you guys. Don't just study the stories, study them in the context of the Bible, right? Like if I were to list some characters like Moses, Abraham, Isaac, things like that, could you tell me where those characters fit? Could you tell me how they fit into the story of God's redemptive work? Could you tell me where Joshua lies in there? And it's not about just fact knowing, it's about better understanding the trajectory, the climax, the understanding of God's forgiveness, His grace, and everything else. I'm passionate about this. So, guys, know the story of Scripture, not just a couple of passages and context. Those are great, important, valuable, but know the story. That's my challenge for you guys this week. And a great place to start is Genesis.